And good afternoon, everyone. This is Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor. My name is Jim, and this is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. This is a directed network, and I am net control. If at any time during this net should an emergency arise, please notify net control. We'll stand by and allow those in need to access this frequency. Is there any priority or emergency traffic at this time? And hearing nothing, we will continue. This net is all about ham radio. If you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We're recording now live till 5, and then we'll post it up on YouTube so you can come by later and do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, where we're now featuring about 1,260 some odd recorded QSO-VLOGs. Also this afternoon we're running 4 Internet SDR receivers, monitoring Rochester, New York, Milford, Pennsylvania, Atlanta, Georgia, and Arlington, Virginia, trying to get a better copy on our 100-watt friends. Now the audio from these 4 SDR receivers comes up on a 6-position rotary selector. Also on this selector is our local receiver audio. And today our local receiver is running 2 large 10-foot vertical magnetic loop antennas, one aimed north and south, the other east and west. The north and south mag loop can be rotated. They are selected by a 3-position rotary selector. Position 3 of the selector is a cophase option that many times is 3 to 4 dB hotter than mag loop 1 or 2 by themselves. We do use a lot of rotary selectors in our shack, mainly because there's nothing faster than a rotary switch for comparing multiple signals. Also today, we'll be running our input source indicator. So when we switch from an Internet SDR receiver to our local 990 receiver, you'll be able to hear the switch and see the switch. You'll have to check it out on our YouTube QSO-VLOG video. Well, those are our working conditions. How about yours? This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. And now, let's check in and see if Charlie, K1GZL, is on frequency to bring us up to date on the latest 40-meter band propagation. Charlie's QTH is up north in northern New Hampshire, near the Canadian border. Charlie, got a copy?
Charlie, got a copy? Yes, Jim, I got a good copy, S8 to a bit over 9 direct. And this is K1GZL. Do you copy?
Yes, sir. You're about 15 over on the, the Milford, PA SDR.
Milford, PA SDR. Okay, Roger. You won't believe the contrast in weather going on right now up here on this 21st of August 2020. At 3 p.m., 35 minutes ago, reported we were right here. We're having rain. We must have had close to a third to a half an inch today. The rain temperature out is 59 degrees. And down in Concord, New Hampshire, it's mostly sunny, and the temperature is 89. 30 degrees warmer on the other side of the front. And it feels chilly out, and occasionally we're in the fog, in the clouds, up here at 2,030 feet above sea level. As far as 40-meter propagation, I was talking to Ian down just north and west of Melbourne in southeastern Australia this morning, and he was talking a little bit about the virus situation down there, and here he is. From 20 meters. The trip into Melbourne, that went well. COVID-19, Melbourne's on level 4 at the moment. Where I am, we're on level 3. So there's a curfew in Melbourne, a nighttime curfew, and it's all pretty locked down. There's very little traffic on the road. I have to go down extremely early in the morning to beat the traffic, but I went down around 10 o'clock. We
like a Sunday, very quiet. Okay, Michael, I'll better put to you because I know you're juggling work there, and WA30 Company, Kilo 3 Mike Oscar. Okay, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, good copy there, Charlie. I've got you at almost 20 over, and good to hear you, John. I've got you at plus 10.
Okay, the last voice was Captain Mike, who will be flying next Tuesday. We'll be flying from Philadelphia to Sacramento, the capital of California, where it's been a lot of fires around that area and many days of well over 100 degrees. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. Now, Captain Mike, was he on 20 meters, 40 meters? You were talking to Australia on 20 or 40?
Australia on 20 or 40?
Yeah, right on 40. Captain Mike and Ian in Australia, we were on 40. However, my schedules with Captain Mike are on 20. Each time I make a recording of Captain Mike in the air, he is on 20 meters, around 14,220, 14,220 plus or minus QRM. And this was recorded actually this morning, and Captain Mike lives in Abington in southwest Virginia, not too far north and east of the Tennessee border. Go ahead.
Oh, Roger, so that transmission was from his home QTH?
From his home QTH?
Roger, it certainly was.
What?
100 watts to 7,300.
Roger. Well, he really sounded good there. I was thinking for a moment he might be in his aircraft copy in the mail.
His aircraft copy in the mail.
Well, it sounds very similar. It's very, very similar. He does an absolutely remarkable job. Whoops, I hit something on my 7,300 here. I hope I didn't knock myself off the air, but I think I got Captain Mike here. Wait a minute.
120 heading forward. We're just coming up just north of Fort Wayne here, and about 500 miles out from Philly, and we should be on the ground there, Charlie.
Yeah, that was a poor recording on that one. I'm sorry. Yeah, let me turn it back over to you there, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL. Interesting times.
Roger, Charlie. Well, gosh, we really appreciate those recordings, and just to show you how, good things can be. That transmission to Australia, that is always a Class A recording, it sounds like, Roger.
It sounds like, Roger.
Oh, it sounds like he's right in the room. He was just barreling in here. Of course, he has a super antenna, two rhombics, one over the other, and he has over 4,000 feet of wire in the whole system.
Roger. Now, so he has two rhombics, one on top of the other. Does he ground the bottom one and use it as a reflector for the other one?
A reflector for the other one?
No, they both transmit power. They both transmit power forward, at a very, very low angle of radiation. One's at, I believe, 70 feet, and the one above is at 130 feet. And yet, when propagation is good, you can work stations with dipoles. Of course, they don't compare to Ian's signal, but about 4 or 5 days ago, one morning, I was working a fellow in Adelaide in Australia, which is well west of Melbourne, maybe 700 miles, and he was using 4 letters in his call. 4 letters, which means you have to run 10 watts or less, and all he was running was very low power and just an off-center fed halfway pole on 40 meters, and he was getting through here about a Q4, but enough to make a QSO.
Roger. Now, just out of curiosity, on a normal morning, what kind of signal strengths are you guys working?
What kind of signal strengths are you guys working?
Well, think Ian, this morning, he was peaking 30 and 35 over. When we don't have the short skip in this country at around 6 o'clock in the morning Eastern time, and we're normally around 71.50, plus or minus whatever's there, skip, or what we call the sporadic E cloud, up at about 80 miles above the Earth, and the F layer being about 150 miles up. If that sporadic E cloud is there, that the low angle going toward Australia has to transmit through that E layer, and that blocks a lot of the signal from getting to the F layer, which we normally use to go all the way at a long distance. Now, there are mornings I have seen Ian. It doesn't happen that often, but when we have no sporadic E, and both of us at both ends of the line have strictly F layer, and the band conditions are just right. I've seen him peak 40 and over 50 dB over 9. It's incredible. 40 meters is what 20 meters was in the early morning about 10 or 15, about 15 years ago. Go ahead.
Oh, just amazing, just amazing. Those are quite high signal strengths. I pity the poor bird that flies through that signal.
Flies through that signal.
Okay, I think you jumped off frequency, Jim. You jumped off frequency. Something happened. Unless my rig went. I'm reading 7188.00.
Roger. No, I'm locked on 7188. I haven't gone anywhere. I did hear some QRM from adjacent channel though.
Okay, well that does happen. Look, I'll let you go, Jeb. I want to thank you very much for picking me up, and we'll hope to work you next Friday. And I should have maybe a new recording, hopefully, of Captain Mike in the Boeing 767 two-engine jet as he either is flying out towards Sacramento or on its way back. It was just good communication today there, Jim. KC9VKV, K1GZL.
Roger, Charlie. 3Z Waster. Thanks for the QSO, and you have a great afternoon, a beautiful weekend coming up. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG network. I'm better known as Jim, Dr. VKV in some circles, and we are recording now live till 5, so if you have a radio you want to check out, give us a shout. We'll post this recording up on YouTube in the next couple of days, so when you go to YouTube, just do a call letter search for KC9VKV, that's Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, and that will take you to our QSO Vlog page. And on that page, you'll be looking for one QSO Vlog in particular, entitled My Group Aircheck 8/21/20, which is today's date. My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. This is KC9VKV. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Victor Echo 3, Papa Charlie, Papa Mobile.
Papa Charlie, Papa Mobile, go ahead.
Charlie, Papa Mobile, go ahead.
Yeah, very good afternoon, Jim. It's Rob on my way home from work on a Friday afternoon. How's everything down your way? KC9VKV, the 3PCP Mobile.
Roger, Rob. Gosh, that's your mobile. Boy, beautiful signal.
Thanks very much. Well, I'm running my Kenwood TS120 and Hustler 40-meter mobile antenna on the roof of the truck, QSO.
Oh, roger that. Now, which mic are you using on that radio?
I'm using a static D104 preamplified hand mic today. Don't have my usual hands-free microphone in the truck yet.
Roger that. Sounded just a little bit on the distorted side, but then that's the D104. Roger. It does have that element that. Are you still using the original element in that D104?
Yeah, QSO, the D104 hand mic. I turned the my mic gain down a little bit. Is that better?
Well, maybe too far. I don't know. You have to check with your ALC. That is the Bible for radios. You know, everybody needs to check their ALC. Want to run that ALC mid-scale to 2/3. Roger.
To 2/3. Roger.
Yeah, QSO. Well, I'm driving, so I didn't want to mess with it too much. But anyway, we've checked in with you quite a few times from different setups and so forth. But just wanted to let you know, in case you didn't know, that this weekend is the International Lighthouse and Lightship weekend. So there's going to be amateurs all over the world operating from lighthouses in their respective countries. So we will be operating one in our local area, QSO.
Oh, really? Now, I didn't know you were near water, Roger.
Near water, Roger.
Yeah, I live on the shore of Lake Huron, one of the Great Lakes.
Ah, roger that, roger that. So now, do they have an antenna already set up, or are you going to be throwing a wire out one of the windows?
Wire out one of the windows.
No, they don't have antennas on the lighthouse for amateur radio. They got them for, marine communications, but not for amateur radio. But I won't be inside the lighthouse this year. I'll be operating from outside because the lighthouse is closed to the public this summer because of the pandemic. So I will be running portable outside the lighthouse. I'll be using my mobile, and I'll have a portable antenna system set up for 40 and 20 QSO.
Roger, roger. Now you'll be using a generator for power?
Generator for power?
No, I'll be running off battery. I've got a bunch of deep cycle batteries that I'll have in the back seat of the car or the truck, so I'll be running off those for the. I'll be operating for a few hours each day, Saturday and Sunday.
Oh, roger that. Well, do you know what frequency you'll be on?
Do you know what frequency you'll be on?
No, they don't specify a frequency. It's not a contest. It's just an event, and there'd be people from all over the world at different lighthouses, so they don't specify any particular frequency. So, because every country has different restrictions for operating frequencies depending on your license class and so forth. In Canada, we're pretty open to where we can operate, but it'll probably be around the middle of the 40-meter band and the middle of the 20-meter band.
Ah, roger. So it'd be kind of like one of those parks on the air scenarios?
Scenarios?
Yeah, similar to that.
Roger, Rob. Well, I wish you luck, sir, and have many contacts and a real good time, Roger.
Excellent. A real good time, Roger.
Yeah, QSO. Yeah, I hope too. And there was a fellow that commented about the TS-20. 120 must be 50 years old. It may not be quite 50 years old, maybe 40, but it still works fine and doesn't break the bank, QSO.
Oh, roger that. Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Exactly. So, anyway, thanks very much for being there and doing what you do, Jim, and we'll talk to you again another day. 73 KC9VKV, 3 PCP mobile.
Roger, roger, Rob. 3's that way, so you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. Thanks for checking in. And as always, we want to hear that mobile. You go to YouTube, do call that a search for KC9VKV, and that's our QSO-VLOG page, and you'll be looking for QSO in particular called My Group Aircheck 8/21/20, today's date. My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Video you want to check out, give me a shout.
Whiskey 8 Zulu uniform.
Whiskey 8 Zulu uniform, is that a Roger?
Zulu uniform, is that a Roger?
That's a Roger. The handle is Jim, Jamaica, India, Mexico. Jim.
Roger, Jim. Whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Jim. Whereabouts are you located, sir?
Well, I got a new Kenwood here, and I just got it this last week, and I thought it would be a good place to see what kind of audio I have. I'm not running a lot of power, 100 watts into a dipole antenna, and so I thought I'd give you a shout. You have a beautiful signal here into the state of Michigan, near the Lake Michigan, about halfway up the lower peninsula of Michigan. Go ahead.
Roger. And which radio exactly are you running, sir?
We're running a Kenwood TS-890. It's really a computer. I bought myself another computer, and it's really quite complicated. Go ahead.
Roger that. Well, looks like it maybe could stand a little fattening if you would be interested.
Yes, I'm interested in fattening. Go ahead.
All right, sir. First off, let's engage your compressor at a 3. And get that compressor on, but only at a token 3. Roger, roger.
Token 3. Roger.
Okay.
Okay, you have now your compressor in line at a 3. Roger.
Roger.
Okay, let's now bring up the ALC with mic gain in hand, and just speaking naturally. Adjust your ALC from mid-scale to 2/3 reading with your mic gain control. Roger.
Roger. I'm not sure. That's what one thing I'm trying to figure out is the ALC, and I'm not sure on this thing. I've been going through the manual trying to figure out how to handle the ALC, and it doesn't look like I'm getting much ALC. Can you tell?
Roger. We'll just bring that, are you something you would have to check the book to find out where your ALC is? Is that a Roger?
Yeah, that's a Roger. I have to do that. But I've got the meter on. It just looks like I'm using much ALC.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. Bring your mic gain control up, and let's see where the ALC goes. You're looking for mid-scale to 2/3. And we do have someone causing a little QRM. This is an active frequency, sir. You might want to check another frequency if you're tuning up or whatever you're doing. This is a frequency that's in use. Go ahead, Jim. Sir, I have about a 1 dB copy on you. I'm not copying you hardly at all. I was hearing your carrier, but that's the person that was generating the carrier. This is a control net. W8ZU, KC9VKV.
Roger, KC9VKV, whiskey 8.
So let's see, reviewing, we have our compressor in line at a 3, and you were going to do a little adjustments, take your mic gain up a little bit and see where your ALC goes.
Roger, okay, my gain is up.
Okay, give me about 10 seconds or 15 seconds. Tell me about your antenna system.
I just have a dipole antenna system. What kind of signal strength do I have to use?
Well, I can't give you a real S-meter reading because I run real low RF gain to keep from going into AGC compression, but your audio is coming up on a VU meter, and I've adjusted your voice level for 0 level peaks. And when you cease speaking, the meter reads the noise level, and it is -7, so you are 7 dB above my noise level, Roger.
Okay, very good. That's what I was wondering, what it is. Fine. But Okay, well, I've got to read some more in the manual. What I was interested in is how many days a week are you in? Just on a Friday or other days? Go ahead.
Just Friday afternoons, 3:30 till 5. 3:30 till 5 every Friday. And again, looking at your audio, I think you're pretty close to where you want to be. It looks like about a 3 dB dynamic range, which is exactly perfect. That's what we're looking for, Roger.
That's what we're looking for, Roger.
Okay, very good. Well, thank you. I don't want to hold up the other people that want to come in, but I'll look for you again and read some more in my manual. And now, can I look at this recording? You were telling the other gentleman that I could go on a website and do that. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. We record the full time from 3:30 till 5. So if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for, we have 1,260 QSO-VLOG recordings at the moment, but if you, usually on page 1, you'll find what you're looking for, and it's called My Group Aircheck 8/21/20, which is today's date. My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. Roger?
2120, Roger.
8/21/20. Okay. And what was the first part of the website?
It's called My Group, My Party, My Group Aircheck. And the date is 8/21/20. That is a date reference.
2120, that is a date reference.
I got it. Okay, My Group. Okay, very good. Well, thank you very much. You have a nice signal here in the state of Michigan. And so we'll let you go on, and this is Whiskey 8 Zulu United, now clear. Thank you.
Roger, Jim. And when you get a chance, I would crank in a couple of clicks additional top-end EQ over where you are. Just punch up +2 more top-end EQ from where you are to give it a little edge and articulation to your audio, Roger.
And articulation to your audio, Roger.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. 58 Zulu United.
Roger. KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Boy, I hit my computer with my fingers. I was moving through the air and had to stop and readjust things. You never know. It's like hearing a beep or something that you're not expecting. You've got to try to figure out what you did or shouldn't have done. Anyway, I did hear somebody back in there, and gosh, we are running 4 internet SDRs, so station calling, come back, and we'll try to find the best path for you. KC9VKV listening.
KC9VKV listening.
Here's somebody back in there, but only about a half a dB above my noise level, or should I say the Milford SDR noise level, and that was the best signal. So we are looking for somebody down there at a reduced level. We'll try it again. Station calling. Come back one more time, please.
Come back one more time, please.
And this is KC9VKV, and that station did fade out. No signal at all. So there you go. This is KC9VKV, the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
You want to check out, give me a shout.
Delta Hotel Station, Come back with the call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
With the call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Okay, this is Kilo Echo 4 Juliet Delta Hotel.
Kilo Echo 4, repeat the rest.
Kilo Echo 4, repeat the rest.
Juliet Delta Hotel.
Juliet Delta Hotel, is that a Roger?
Juliet Delta Hotel, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
All right, sir, and what's the name there?
All right, sir, and what's the name there?
The name here is James Juliet Alpha Mike Echo Sierra, located in Springville, Alabama.
Juliet Alpha Mike, and what was the rest?
Juliet Alpha Mike, and what was the rest?
Echo Sierra, James.
Roger James, Roger James. Well, here's another James for you, except I used Jim. And James, where about are you located, sir?
Jim. And James, where about are you located, sir?
I'm located in Alabama, and it's about 30 minutes north of Birmingham, in a town called Springville.
Oh, roger that. And what radio are you running, sir?
Oh, roger that. And what radio are you running, sir?
I'm running the Kenwood CS990.
990. Okay, James, tell you what, why don't you give me about 10 or 15 seconds, tell me about your antenna system, and I'll see if I can find a better path. Roger?
And I'll see if I can find a better path. Roger?
Okay, that sounds good. And dipole, it's probably, say probably about 15. It's probably about 30 yards from the shack here. That's what I'm working with. I'm running about 200 watts out of the radio.
Roger James. Okay, Milford, PA is SDR is doing a great job there. Okay, and gosh, tell me something about what was that 990? What's the prefix of that radio?
What's the prefix of that radio?
Tango Sugar, Kenwood TF990 Sugar.
I got you there. And tell me in about 10 seconds or so, what's the best thing you like about that radio?
The best thing you like about that radio?
Well, I like how it has all the features out on the knobs and everything. The little, I guess you'd say, little fan adapter on the screen. I don't know, I just like the features. Not much about it, I guess.
Oh, roger that, roger that. Okay, looking at your audio, you could use a little fattening. Just checking. We recommend that we start the setup with your compressor in line at about a 3. Compressor in line at about a 3, roger.
Compressor in line at about a 3, roger.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's back down to 3 there.
Okay, so you are running now the compressor at 3, roger?
Running now the compressor at 3, roger.
Roger, roger.
Okay, let's go to the ALC. Go to your ALC meter with mic gain in hand, and just speaking naturally, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. Just speaking naturally, adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is reflecting mid-scale to 2/3.
Reflecting mid-scale to 2/3.
Yeah, I didn't ever catch the call or your, I got your name, but I didn't get your call sign. So, could you give that to me, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Call sign here is Kilo, Charlie 9, Victor, Kilo, Victor, KC9VKV. The name is Jim, Juliet, India, Mary. Jim, roger?
Jim, roger.
Okay, yeah, I got the Jim. All right.
All right, now, gosh, tell me something I don't know for 10 seconds, and I think you're just about perfect, but tell me something in 10 seconds I don't know.
Tell me something in 10 seconds I don't know.
Well, I really like to fish on my other hobby. This kind of comes in trouble, I guess. And I really like to do that. Although I'm down from it right now because I'm having to put a transmission in my truck. So once I get that fixed, I'll be able to get back on the water there, over.
Roger, I just managed to get over to my local antenna, and your EQ is sounding really good. Again, I favor a couple of clicks more top-end EQ for articulation. You know, the thing about articulation is when you're buried in somebody else's noise, up to your gills, up to their gills of noise, you're looking for every edge you can to be understood as you speak. And the more articulated your audio is, the more easily you're going to be able to be heard and understood in heavy noise conditions or QRM or whatever it might be. So we want that voice to be very articulated, and that occurs on top-end EQ. So I would punch in a couple of more clicks of top-end EQ from where you are. Plus 2 clicks more top-end EQ from where you are.
All right. Maybe that will help out there. How about that?
That's looking good there. Looking good. You're nice and fat and crisp. What mic are you using, sir?
That's a high old PR781.
Alrighty. And what do you have any other mics? Just out of curiosity, do you have any other mics, or is that the only one?
You don't have a hand mic that come with a radio.
Roger that, roger that. Well, you know, is that, do you know if that mic that came with the radio, is that a condenser hand mic, electret hand mic, or just a dynamic?
It's just a dynamic.
Oh, roger that, roger that. Trying to catch a little bit more of your audio. You're a man of few words. Tell me something for about 10 or 15 seconds, and let me see your audio.
Okay, Jim. Yeah, I don't really talk a lot on here. I just mainly get on and listen. I need to get in the habit of talking, but I need to definitely do that. So maybe that'll help you out there.
Yeah, I think you've got it. I think you sound really good. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube in the next couple of days, give us 48 hours to get this uploaded. If you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running about 1,260 some odd recorded QSOs at the moment. You'll be looking for one in particular on page 1. It's called My Group Aircheck 82120. Those numbers represents today's date. My Group Aircheck 82120. Roger?
2120, Roger.
Okay, yeah, and what's the website called?
If you go do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, KC9VKV, after you get to YouTube, that will bring up our QSO-VLOG page. Roger?
QSO-VLOG page, Roger.
Okay, Jim. Well, I appreciate it, and I'll definitely check that out and see what we got going on.
Okay, now, you know, just before you go, I am detecting just a little bit of room noise. I'm not sure about how far off mic were you working there. How far were you working away from the mic?
Probably about, 4 or 5 inches.
Roger, roger. I think I would pull that to about 3 to 4. If you get further back, see, you start, but depending on the room, you know, our shacks are less than soundproof studios, so, you know, when we start working a little bit further away from the microphone, depending on the room, we do start to pick up a little echo in the room, which is not necessarily advantageous. So I try to keep my proximity to mic around 3 inches or so. Roger, roger?
Around 3 inches or so, Roger, roger.
Don't listen to this guy. Okay, well, I appreciate it, Jim, and I'll definitely check out the YouTube there and listen to that, and it's really been helpful. I'll check it out, and appreciate it. 7-3, and I'll let you get on to somebody else.
Roger, James, 3 is that way, so thanks for checking in, and gosh, if you get a chance to join us next Friday, we're live recording between 3:30 and 5. This is KC9VKV, the QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Kilo 4, Victor Alpha.
Kilo 4, Victor Alpha. What's the name there?
Alpha, what's the name there?
Name here is Ken, Kilo Echo November.
Roger, Ken, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roger, Ken, and whereabouts are you located, sir?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Roger, Virginia there. And what radio are you running?
Roger, Virginia, then. What radio are you running?
Elecraft K3.
Roger that. And tell me about your antenna system in about 15 seconds.
System in about 15 seconds.
I have a Butternut 9-band vertical.
Gosh, I need a little more time looking at your audio, trying to figure out what your audio looks like, Roger.
What your audio looks like, Roger?
Another man, a few words. This hobby is all about words, sir. Tell me something about your radio that you like.
Tell me something about your radio that you like.
Well, I can tell you that I was...
Well, I tell you, I get shot down here about the time we get somewhere. The SDR Milford cuts me off, and I got to start from... bring that back up again. So just hang on here just a second. Let me come back with Milford here. I think she'll let me come back. Yes. Right. And I'm not sure. We get kicked off for various reasons. Inattention or too much time. They both go hand in hand. So Ken, do you still copy?
They both go hand in hand. So
Yeah, still copy here.
All right, buddy. Gosh, I can't get enough audio out of you to tell you what's going on. You're going to have to talk to me a little bit, Roger. I'm not exactly sure. I'm looking at your audio, but what I'm looking for is the repetitiveness of your peaks, specifically. And if there's no repetitive there, I can't do anything. So I need something. I need about 10 or 15 seconds of you telling me something so I can see your peaks and see what's happening there.
Okay, well, what I said before was I was using a Raspberry Pi computer here to do digital mode. I decided to make a backup of the little drive that's on it, but inadvertently erased the whole drive, so now I have to redo it.
So those are you have to reprogram the program on the device.
the device.
So there's just a little micro SD card, which is the hard drive, and it's 32 gigabytes, and so I had to reload the operating system, and now I'm going to put all the programs back on it.
Roger. Okay, I've copied you a little bit there, so I suggest that, number one, you need your compressor on at about a 3. Roger, compressor on at about a 3.
Compressor on at about a 3.
My compressor was at 11. I'm going to put it on 3.
Well, Ken, what we're talking about is like if your input level is like a 0 to 10, put it on a 3. If your input level is a 0 to 100, put it on 30. What we're looking for is about a third of the capabilities of the compressor. Roger?
Okay, so that would be around where I had it, around 12.
Yeah, in other words, about a third of its capabilities, what we're looking for. Not very much, but it does exactly what it needs to do. Roger?
Yeah, mine goes from 1 to 40, so I've got it set at 13 now.
Yeah, that sounds ballpark. Okay, so then move to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you speak naturally into your microphone, adjust your mic level control until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3. You're just speaking naturally like you normally do, not whistling or none of that. You just speak naturally and adjust your mic gain until your ALC meter is running mid-scale to 2/3.
Okay, let me find the ALC meter here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 3, 4. It's like I've got everything or nothing.
I'm sorry, repeat.
Completely what?
I'm sorry, repeat.
Generally say you don't adjust an telegraph using ALC.
Well, whatever you did, your level is looking to be about 3 dB. Again, the more you speak, the easier I can diagnose what's going on, Roger.
What's going on, Roger?
Okay, what does it look like now? Is it still around 3 dB?
Well, you had one overshoot. What I'm looking for is a repetitive peak level. That is that on your peaks, the level is precise in coming to a certain place on each peak over a period of words. And when you have overshoots through that, then it indicates that, number one, either your ALC level is not correct, or, because the ALC is looking at the output of your limiter, actually. Now, the limiter is not something that you can address directly, but you can address it by way of the mic gain control. And so when you are running an average of mid-scale to 2/3, you're not going to get a bunch of punch through, like a 3 dB or 4 dB punch through that. And I did see one of those just a moment ago, Roger.
Just a moment ago, Roger.
Okay, now I just turned it down a bit. Am I going above where I'm supposed to be now?
That looked pretty good right there. Now, you don't have any Vox or any, what is that, where your audio is muted between words? You're not running any of that, right?
You're not running any of that, right?
I have an equalizer.
Well, when you pass the equalizer, you're not running any noise reduction in your audio outboard, Roger?
Outboard, Roger.
Not that I know of.
Roger. Some of the attacks just seemed just a little strange, but anyway, it's looking like pretty well your 3 dB dynamic range, and that's what we're looking for. Now I know the K3 has a very complex equalizer. Is that a Roger?
Equalizer, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Yeah, and I don't want to really get into all that. All I can say is at your, sometime coming up, but that's a 10 band, Roger?
10 band, Roger.
It's I think it's 8 bands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 8 band equalizer.
Yeah, okay. So let me just say this about that. Help! No, but it's the more complex the equalizer, the more difficult it is to try to do it this way. But what I'm going to suggest to you is that I think the top end of that equalizer is 16K. Is that a Roger?
16K, is that a Roger?
Roger, Roger.
Okay, I would advance that, although theoretically there's nothing there as far as what we're talking about, I would advance that, I'm assuming that you're in a flat position on 16, 8, and 4K at the top. Are you flat, or are you boosting or cutting?
Are you boosting or cutting?
I'm flat at 400, 800, 16, 24, and 32.
Well, I do suggest that everyone should, be flat in the mid-range, because the whole thing about an equalizer is that you're trying to find balance between the mid-range to the high frequencies and the mid-range to the low frequencies. And if you boost the mid-range, then there goes your reference point, and it's so much harder for the top end to catch up for balance and the bottom end to catch up for balance. So as much as possible, you want to keep, like if you had a 3-band EQ, you would want to keep the middle frequency flat, and that way it would be easier for the top end and the bottom end to catch up with that. In your case, where you have multiple 8 equalizers, I would say anything from 800 cycles to 1 point. Let's see. Do you have a 1K?
Let's see. Do you have a 1K?
I have 800 and 1600, 2400, 3200.
Yeah, okay, I would say 8 800 cycles flat for sure, and that 1.6 is what it is, 1.6 flat. For sure. And then again, we're looking to try to boost up that top end a little bit. So I would say something in the, let's see, 1.6, 3,200. I would go 32 plus 4, 32, 3.2 kilohertz at plus 4, Roger.
At plus 4, Roger.
Roger, okay, just turn that one up.
Okay, just talk to me for about 5 seconds.
Talk to me for about 5 seconds.
I just increased 3.2 up to about a 0.4, I guess.
Okay, a little bit more. Give me another bit of EQ there. Maybe 2 clicks hotter than where you are on 3.2.
Okay, I think I'm around an 8 right now.
Okay, and tell me something that you like about your antenna system.
I like the fact that it's 9 bands, and they're pretty much all less than 2 SWR, and it works really well. It has a very low takeoff angle, so it's good for
Roger, Ken. Well, I think we've probably done the best we can. You might want to move your 3.2, 6.4. You might want to move it up to about the same as you did the 3.2, Roger.
It's the 3.2.
I'm sorry, I was on the wrong SDR. Repeat that.
I said I moved the 2.4 up the same as the 3.2.
Roger. Yeah, that be careful about that 2.4 because that is a frequency that can be very, very irritating. I usually keep that minimum and try to get a little bit more brightness as opposed to that upper mids at the 3.2. Roger, or your that 3-point control.
Okay, I've got the 2.4 now at about 4, and the 3.2's at about 8.
Yeah, that sounds good. I think I'd leave it right there, sir. That's just probably about as much as I care to do on an 8-band EQ at the moment, Roger.
Roger.
Yeah, sounds good. And thanks for checking by, Roger.
Okay, I'll let you go help somebody else. Number 3, thanks a lot.
Yes, sir. 3's to you, sir. And if you get a chance to join us next Friday, and again, if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do that call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. And on that page, you'll be looking for my group Aircheck 82180. Well, let's try that again. You'll be looking for an entity called my group Aircheck 82120, which is the numbers are date reference. That is today's date, 82120. My group Aircheck. Roger.
Roger. Thanks a lot.
Yes, sir, Ken. And you were in Virginia. That's Roger.
Juliet.
There's another station in there, sir. Do you have a comment?
November 8, Juliet, Foxtrot, Juliet.
November 8, Juliet, Foxtrot. What was the rest?
Juliet, Foxtrot, Juliet.
Yes, sir. What's the name there, please?
John.
Hi, John. And what radio are you running, sir?
Okay, it's a Yaesu FT900.
Yaesu FT900, Roger.
Roger.
Hi, John. Where are you located, sir?
We are in Michigan.
All right, John, and tell me in 10 or 15 seconds about your antenna system.
About out your antenna system.
Okay, I have a Gap Titan around 13 feet above ground at the base. Copy?
Roger that. Trying to look at your audio, and the thing is, when we're talking about dynamic range, it involves two things. It involves a rate of speech and the dynamics of the words that you speak. And if you are talking very slowly, it's hard to get comprehension as far as what your dynamic range may be, because the words are not close enough together to see how far they fall down between word to word. When you speak hesitantly, then it is very difficult to see what your dynamic range is. So if maybe we could just speak a little bit faster, I could be able to evaluate what your dynamic range is. Roger?
Dynamic range is, Roger.
Okay, how about this speed?
That's pretty good there. Now, if you could do that for about 15 seconds, I could be very comprehensive about what your modulation, average peak modulation is.
Average peak modulation is.
Okay, this is NHJFJ testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yes, sir. Now, your dynamic range looks to be about 3 dB, but your equalization is very upper mids. You have no bottom end at all. And so it kind of is like a very, very mid-rangey. I would suggest maybe that you try to broaden your EQ curve just a little bit by maybe putting in a little bit more low frequencies. Normally, I'm on the other end of it, but your case, you are almost all mid-range with no bottoms. I would say, what kind of EQ do you have on that radio?
EQ do you have on that radio?
That I do not know.
Okay, well, close enough. I would suggest that you consult with your owner's manual, and when you find out where your EQ is, I would go down to if it's a 3-band EQ, I would punch up the bottom EQ, the low frequency EQ, about 3 clicks. I would advance the low, if it's a 3-band EQ, I would advance the low end about 3 clicks. Roger?
About 3 clicks, Roger.
Okay, does that have anything to do with mic gain?
No. Mic gain is the volume. We're talking about the shape of the audio curve. In other words, as I'm listening to you, I'm looking at your audio on a spectrum analyzer, and it's telling me what your, what the frequencies that are involved in your audio system as you speak. And it's all in the upper mids with no bottom end. So what I'm just suggesting is that you broaden your audio out just a little bit and make it sound a little more full by adding some low frequency response. So when you find out where your equalization is, just advance. If it's a 3-band, just advance that bottom low frequency by 3 clicks or so at least. Roger?
Clicks or so at least, Roger.
Okay, I don't see anything on this radio to do that. Probably there's a possibility if we take the cover off and look inside there may be something, but like you said, it's probably a matter of consulting the owner's manual or operating manual. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. That's a good clue. That's what I would suggest is that you consult the owner's manual or Google. Google knows all, and if you don't have an owner's manual, just consult Google for that model radio, and you'll probably be able to download a PDF file on that radio. How old is that radio?
On that radio. How old is that radio?
Oh, I'm going to say probably 25, 30 years.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, it well could not have equalization, but you need the owner's manual. That has so much information that will tell you exactly what it does and doesn't have. And, there are other ways to make things work. You can add outboard, if you're married to that radio, then you can add outboard stuff to make it do exactly what you need it to do that you do not have internally. You can run, a condenser microphone with a preamp, and then you can have outboard EQ that will help that radio, sound $1 million, or you could change mics. What mic are you running now?
Okay, bear with me while I take a look at it. It's the stock mic that came with it. Let me see if I can read the small print. Go ahead.
I know what you mean. That's a hand mic? Roger. Well, notoriously, most hand mics are kind of upper mids. Except for like the 7300 or the 7610, which are using electret microphone hand mics for stock, and those radios just sound beautiful with the stock hand mic. Now, the older radios, yours probably has what's called a dynamic microphone as opposed to an electret microphone, so it further makes it more tinny than whatever. But sometimes there's a thing called proximity to microphone. I don't know if you know exactly what that means, but the thing is expressed by the closer that you work a microphone, the more intense the bottom end of the frequency response will be. So, you can actually do your own EQ without electronics, by just working that microphone right up in that microphone, touching that microphone, and let me hear that.
Okay, I did the best I could to multitask here. It looks like this might be an MN31, Roger.
Yes, sir. So probably that is a dynamic microphone. So what I want you to do an experiment for me. I want you to bring that microphone right up and speak right into it as you're actually touching that microphone with your lips, and talk and let me hear it that way.
Okay, I'm doing it now. How about this?
Just a little bit more, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right. Now I think we're increased our bottom end, but what the next question is: do you know where your mic gain control is?
I've got it sitting at about 9 o'clock. Go ahead.
All right. Just again, as far as what I could hear, your bottom end came up quite a bit when you went closer to microphone, but the volume went up also. So what we want to do is turn the volume down and continue to work close. Working close, Mike, is that uncomfortable for you?
Not at all. How is this?
Yes, sir. Now, tell me something in about 10 seconds, and let me hear you.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah, I would run it just like that if that's comfortable for you, because again, the proximity effect of the microphone helps the bottom end as you move up on it. And now that we've turned the volume down, your level is about the same as what it was, but it has you're more multi-frequency than where you were, Roger.
Oh, that's indeed quite interesting. What's the name there?
Name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike. Our call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor, Kilo Victor. We're located just across the Ohio River from Louisville, Kentucky. We're on the Indiana side of the Ohio River, right at Louisville.
The Ohio River right at Louisville.
Well, that's quite interesting there, Jim. I'm retired military. My dad was once stationed at Fort Knox. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Was he the one that left with all the gold?
The one that left with all the gold?
Say that again. We had some static crash.
Yeah, I said, was he the one that left with all the Fort Knox gold?
The Fort Knox gold?
I'm kind of doubting. Go ahead.
Well, you know, I know that there is no gold in Fort Knox. I mean, you know, they used to have 1,000 tanks out there, you know, which I figured they were all guarding the money. But somehow something happened and all the tanks are gone except this one tank that is out there as you just go into Fort Knox, and it's up on a pedestal. Looks like it hasn't run in 30 years. So I know there's, you know, it's not guarding anything, and I know all that gold is gone.
All that gold is gone.
Well, Dad's been gone about that length of time, so I kind of got my doubts that that's what his doing. Go ahead.
Roger that. I'm kidding. I don't know where those guys went. Probably to another base in Kentucky. I think it was. I'm not sure, but you know, it used to be kind of interesting because you know, they get those tank guns going, you know, 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on maneuvers, and man, I'm 30 miles away, but I could hear the roar of the cannons, Roger.
The roar of the cannons, Roger.
I don't doubt that a bit. Well, I can remember from my childhood when Dad was there at Fort Knox doing his duty. He lived in a little town called Midland, and I could hear, as well as the other members of the family and neighbors, just exactly what you're talking about. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, John, gosh, I think we've done all the damage we can do at the moment. If you get a chance, join us next Friday, and we'll figure out something else to do, Roger.
Okay, Jim, I'm quite certain I have spoken with you before using my other radio, which is an MTX 1200. Go ahead.
Roger. Well, gosh, I have to consult my notes, but I've just gone through some of my notes as far as what radios we've set up. You know, and the thing is, we have developed this very generic setup procedure that, you know, we can take almost any radio and set it up to perfection, you know, and it just... you know, I'm trying to go through back and see how many 7300s that I've set up, and I think there's something along 200 or 220 7300s that we've set up, Roger.
Okay, Jim, have you ever done a 991?
No, but I've got a plan if you've got the radio.
I know somebody that does.
Well, it would be very similar, you know, as to your setup. It'd be exactly identical to your setup. Tell them to put their compressor on a 3, and then go to the ALC and adjust their mic level for mid-scale to 2/3, and they'll be sounding like you, Roger.
Okay, well, I very much appreciate all the help there, Jim.
Roger, my pleasure, sir. And let me say 3s to you. And again, if you get a chance, join us next Friday. And in between then, if you want to hear your audio, go to YouTube, do that call letter search, KC9VKV. Look for a QSO entitled My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. Today's date, 8/21/20, My Group Aircheck. Roger.
21/20, My Group Aircheck. Roger.
Okay, I I think I stepped on you a little bit there, Jim. So I got the thing about the 81-20 and my check, I believe it was. Go ahead.
Yeah, the reference to numbers is the date, today's date, 8/21/20, today's date, and it's called My Group as a party, My Party Aircheck, My Group Aircheck. Roger?
Aircheck, my group aircheck. Roger.
Okay, I made a little correction there. My group. All right. I greatly appreciate it there, Jim, and if I think I got your call correct, is KC9 Victor Kilo Victor. Roger?
Roger, Roger, that's correct. And also keep in mind now that you're working that microphone tight. You're not working it like you were, but you're working it tight. So just remember that, Roger.
Just remember that, Roger.
Oh, I certainly won't forget that. You only need to tell me once. Go ahead.
Roger, Roger, John. Pleased to you, sir. You have a good afternoon. This is the Friday afternoon QSO-VLOG net. If you've got a radio you want to check out, give me a shout.
Want to check out? Give me a shout.
10-4 WYE.
Station, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Slowly, phonetically, please.
November 4 Whiskey Yankee Echo. November 4 Whiskey Yankee Echo.
Okay, the November 4 something Yankee Echo. Give me that call sign one more time, slowly, please.
Sign one more time, slowly, please.
Roger, Roger. This is November 4 Whiskey Yankee Echo.
Roger, Roger. Whiskey Yankee Echo. And what's the name, please?
Whiskey Yankee Echo. And what's the name, please?
Lee, L-double-E.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. I copied that one. Last week we had a Lee, and I misunderstood it. It sounded like we, and so I was calling him we. When in doubt, double check with phonetics, Roger.
Double check with phonetics, Roger.
I hadn't tuned it up. I was interested in your tuning up the 7300s, and I've been, kind of watching some of the. I'm new. Let me back up. I'm new again to ham radio. I've been back into it for about a year now, and was out of it for about 40 years while I was working. So I'm one of the retired guys, thank goodness. And I think what you're doing on the air seems to be helping a fair number of people from what I've seen so far. So bless you for doing that. Yeah, I don't know if mine's set up right or not, but I sure would appreciate your opinion and try to affect some change. M4WYE.
Well, Roger Lee, what radio are you running, sir?
It's a 7300. 7300. I've had it about a year.
Okay, conditions are not real good. You were kind of in and out, but when you were in, your audio curve looked really good. Had a lot of, nice bottom end, nice top end. So the only thing I could suggest would be that you would make sure that you have your compressor engaged at a 3. At 7300 is a beautiful radio, so engage your compressor at a 3. Roger, Roger.
I've been planning my next project is probably an amplifier, but I want to go ahead and get this 7300 tuned up. So that's where I am. Thanks.
Roger Lee, we doubled just a little bit there. I'm saying your ballistics, the dynamic range looks pretty good, but double check to be sure you are running your compressor engaged at a 3. Engage that compressor of the 7300 at a 3. Roger, it's a token amount, but it does exactly what it needs to do.
Okay, I'm not so sure I know how to set that thing. Now that I look at it, don't think I've ever set it before. Mine's peaking. If I put it on the compressor setting, it's peaking up to about at the highest 5 or 6, and we're usually peaking up about around 3.
Yeah, not what you want to do is the compressor has a number, and you have a little rotary thing there, and you adjust the compressor, get the compressor up, and just put it at 3. That's the input level. You want a 3 on your compressor, Roger?
Okay, I've got it on now, I think. I had it on 5, apparently. Now it's on 3.
Roger. Now, you're using the stock hand mic, Roger?
That is correct.
All right, so the best way to run that stock hand mic is pull it to the side of your mouth and talk across it. Do not talk directly into it. Pull it to the side of your mouth and speak across it, Roger?
That's an input I've never heard before. But I'm sure it's got the food.
Yeah, so I'm my Milford PASDR is down again. God, constantly with that thing. Let me get back here. I had a pretty good copy on you on Milford. I did go to my local. All right, come back and Lee, tell me about your antenna system, please. Tell me in about 15 seconds about your antenna system.
Roger.
About your antenna system.
Yeah, I'm just starting with the infinite, and I've got the basically it's a half-wave infit antenna, and we're really it's a nice multi-band antenna. With the antenna performance, and now it's a matter of just getting them up in the right direction so I've got coverage, because they do appear to be a little nodal in their propagation. Is that long enough for you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me give you some notes for when you find other things like, do you know where your equalization is?
Well, I've got so far I'm running the, yeah, my bass is -1, my treble is +3, and the bandwidth I'm running, I think, is 100 to
Yeah, kind of faded off there at the end of that. Your bandpass, you want to be 100 to 2900. You want your bandpass to be 100 to 2900 on that 7300. It has 3 possible selections. I suggest that you put all 3 in the 100 to 2900 nomenclature, so you cannot run that radio in any other bandpass but 100 to 2900. Roger?
Okay. Does the transmitter switch with the? I noticed it's a transmitter bandwidth, so I was assuming that as long as you got that's a good idea. That might seem a good idea.
Yeah, faded out again, Lee. Yes, when you change your bandpass, both the receiver and the transmitter are affected. So what you want to do is to operate that radio in the widest possible bandpass. That radio sounds just beautiful in the 100 to 2900, and there's no reason to compromise. Some folks think that when they DX our contest that they need to close that frequency response down to less than 100 to 2900. But they're just shooting themselves in the foot, because when you start restricting your bandpass, the first thing that happens is you lose your top end in transmit, and there goes the neighborhood, because we're talking about articulation and being able to understand words, and a lot of that is formulated by high frequency content in the audio. And when you start restricting that bandpass, that whole top end gets whacked off, and there goes your intelligibility. So you want to operate that radio in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, Roger.
Roger. You're really right, because one of the things I've noticed when I'm doing DXing late at night is if I switch it down to the second filter, which is 300 to 2700, it seems like it's a little bit easier to copy. But I understand the effect of on the transmit side of losing the highs. So you're absolutely right, and I hadn't really thought it through, but that's a wonderful idea. I yearn for the old days where we still had the fidelity we used to have on the end, but keeping the bandwidth out of the high end does about the best we can do.
Roger, you faded out again. The best way to operate that 7300 for the receiver is no noise reduction. Do not run the noise reduction on the 7300. Do not run noise blank on the 7300. Those are, they just get in the way of the performance of that radio. You also want to run in the filter 1 position for your receiver, filter 1, which is a no filter position. They couldn't figure out how to say this really isn't anything, as opposed to calling it a filter, but it is a no filter position. Number 1, Roger.
Roger. That's a good answer. I appreciate that. By the way, you're running about 10 over 9, and I wouldn't mind a signal report when you get around to it. You may have already given it to me, but I guess the bass and treble settings sound okay. I'm turning the microphone sideways again. I appreciate the comment. That one might take me a while, but I appreciate the input.
Yes, certainly you are very wide-banded audio-wise. You have a nice bottom end, a nice top end. Just keep working that microphone to the side. Pull it to the side of your mouth, work across it. That way you'll minimize any plosives and mouth noises that you might incur if you worked it straight in. So work across it. And your dynamic range looks good, 3 dB. And your audio curve is just beautiful. I wouldn't change a thing, Roger.
Okay, I appreciate that. Yeah, I was looking at it on the spectrum scope here, and that I've never done that before. I never really thought through it, but I can certainly see the top end is modulating nicely, and there's a bit more bass in there than I would have thought since I got the bass turned down. But well, I really appreciate your input. I keep fading out, and I just realized what's going on here. I'm asking you for a signal report, and you're running on an SDR receiver, so it just finally clicked.
No, matter of fact, for quite some time I've been on my local antenna. The thing is, I run at very reduced RF levels on the receiver, to the point that I'm not into AGC compression at all, and you can't have an S meter reading without compression. That's what the S meter is reading, is the compression of your AGC circuit. So what I'm doing is trying to get the best possible audio recording. So I'm staying out of AGC compression, because what happens when you have your RF receive RF level turned up, between words you hear this coming between the words, and that's an anomaly that I just as soon not have, and it's not correct. That's not really what's happening. That's what's happening with your radio, but that's not really what's happening with the signal. The signal is staying constant, and so what I want to do is bring that RF level down to where I can capture reality without interfering with the AGC. So because I'm running reduced RF level, I can't can't give you a real S-meter reading, but I can give you a reading that's based on my VU meter, because I'm taking my audio out into a VU meter, and I've calibrated your peaks at 0 level in the VU meter, and then when you cease speaking, I'm looking at the noise level, which is, in your case, 8 dB down. So you are 8 dB above my noise level, Roger.
Okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, that's a very useful input. I was now I know why I'm fading a little bit on you, because I've only got 8 dB signal to noise ratio to work with. And by the way, I'm an electrical engineer. You'd think I know the fact that the ABC is is compression on the receive side, and raise the ambient current level. I appreciate that. The old lesson relearned. By the way, my compliments on your ability to get some of these concepts and settings because you have a very mild manner about it, and it comes through as a very helping hand, kindly, friendly, knowledgeable helping hand. So, and I know it takes a lot of work. I appreciate it, and I know most of the other guys in front of me have appreciated it as well. This is N4WY.
Roger Lee, and your last 15 seconds were a pretty good level, so you have a good air check there. If you'd like to hear your radio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page, and on that page, page 1, hopefully, you'll be looking for an air check entitled My Group Air Check 8/21/20. Today's date, 8/21/20, my group air check, and we'll probably have it up within 48 hours. Roger.
Roger. Okay, I appreciate that. That'll be a fun thing to do. I appreciate that. I've certainly never had the opportunity to do that, and that would help me a lot. So, I gather you said you're in Kentucky. When I was in college, my dad was in the 101st Airborne. In fact, he had the dubious job of being the Inspector General of the 101st Airborne. And when I got into service, I went to jump school at Fort Benning, lovely place, and then got sent to Germany. So, and I agree with you about Fort Knox. I'm sure there's no Nicholsworth where they tell everybody there is. Appreciate the help. Looking forward to listening to the radio, from the other direction. And I do appreciate your patience. It helps me out. I feel a whole lot better about having the setup right. And now I know, where and how the settings got put together, and so. And your call again is Kilo Victor 9 Victor. Kilo Victor. I just want to make sure I got it right.
Right, the call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. KC9VKV, and I spent some time up in your dad's area there in the late 70s, in the late 60s actually, I guess 68, 69, 70 in Fayetteville, Fort Bragg, 2 stations, WFLB in Fayetteville and WFBS in Spring Lake, which is just a couple of miles off of Pope Air Force Base. Roger.
Okay. Yeah, I went to summer camp at Fort Bragg, and spent some time down there as well. Not a lot. I'm from North Carolina originally, actually from the Raleigh-Durham area. Went to the Citadel in Charleston, and then went to Duke, North Carolina for an MBA. But it's a nice spot in the world, around North Carolina, and retired in Atlanta. Actually, we retired to Hilton Head at first, and my wife decided that the alligator in the backyard wasn't. We moved back to Atlanta where we had some friends and some medical facilities. So Well, you and I are about the same age. I was in the service from 65 to 68 on active duty, so we're pretty close to the same age.
Roger that, Lee. And also, when you consult the YouTube QSO-VLOG, you'll see that I have a what's called is input source indicator, and so you can tell when I'm on my local receiver and when I switch to one of the SDRs, because there's a light matrix that follows my my input select. Roger.
Okay, all right, that's most helpful. I've gotten into using the SDRs, the web SDRs, and I must admit, even being an engineer, I am amazed how far software has taken radio. My son's a software type, and he's convinced me that software is going to take over the world. I got a grandson that's now moving to Alaska, but he's 11 years old, 10 years old at the time, and I was trying to get him into maybe getting exposed to ham radio. I had an airborne Archery 90 type receiver available, and I thought, okay, I'll fire it up and take it up to him and let him just play with it as a softwave, shortwave listener. And up there, and it smoked when I turned it on. And I realized, getting parts for a vacuum tube type amplifier, getting high voltage capacitors and tubes and things like that are, not a practical thing to do, I found. So I ended up getting a small SDR and can handle a Mac computer pretty well, so we got him started. US SDR, and had a lot of fun with it. So it is amazing how far the technology underneath all these microphones has gone over the years. Listen, I'll let you go. I want to thank you for the input and your time. It's been a pleasure, and I look forward to going and checking out the website and listening to my rather melodious voice. I appreciate it. You take care. Be safe, and thanks for all the help.
Roger, Lee. 3's that way, sir, and I think you'll enjoy your recording. Could have used a little bit more signal strength, but Mother Nature controls all that, and it doesn't matter particularly what we want. It's what she decides to give us, so we have to deal with it. Let me say 3's to you there, Lee, and come back and let me know exactly what your location is. I never got that. Where are you, sir?
Never got that. Where are you, sir?
Yes, I'm in a suburb of Atlanta called Marietta. Again, that's Marietta, Marietta, and it's a suburb just on the north side of Atlanta.
Oh, did you say you are near Atlanta?
Yes, I'm a suburb of Atlanta called Marietta. Marietta is the suburb on the north side of Atlanta.
Roger, Leo. I was just wondering why I was picking you up better on the Atlanta SDR than any of them. So now the truth becomes evident, and the reason is location, Roger.
Location, Roger.
Well, it does help a lot. I must admit, talking to a few handful of an awful lot of guys on the nets going, and it's amazing how many of them are using SDRs as backups to when they can't quite hear on their own radio.
Yeah, Roger. We run 4. Arlington, Virginia, Milford, PA, Rochester, New York, and Georgia. And you guys must be having like a thunderstorm down that way.
Well, I must admit, I've disconnected my antennas every day for the last 7 days. And we have had thunderstorms, rather believe it's thunderstorms, as a matter of fact. They're scattered, but there's an awful lot of lightning. In fact, one of them popped on my hand radio operating favorite on my computer is real-time lightning, just to kind of watch out for it.
Roger. Just grabbing some coffee there. Well, listen, let me jump out of here, Lee. It is past our time. I have been becoming a pumpkin for the last 5 minutes, so let me say three's down that way and enjoyed it, Roger.
Three's down that way and enjoyed it, Roger.
I appreciate it. And your handle is Jim, right?
The name is Jim, Juliet India Mike, Roger.
Here's Jim, Juliet India Mike.
Look forward to it. Seeing you next time. I appreciate all the help and feel a lot more confident at the dials here on the radio. And looking forward to listening to your recording. I appreciate it. Have a good day. Be safe. KC9VKV, November 4th, Whiskey, Yankee Echo. Thanks again.
Roger, Lee, three's that way, so you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend. And that will wrap up our QSO-VLOG for this Friday afternoon. Since 3:30, we've been recording live till 5. And, gosh, at 5 o'clock, we turn into a pumpkin, so we got to get out of here. If you have participated in the show, want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube and do a call letter search for Kilo Charlie 9, Victor Kilo Victor, that will take you to our QSO-VLOG page. We're running about 1,260 some odd recorded QSOs at the moment, but on page 1 you'll be looking for an entity called My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. Today's date, My Group Aircheck 8/21/20. So with that, I will say adieu to everyone, and this is KC9 returning this frequency back to amateur radio use. This is KC9VKV clear.
9VKV clear.
There is somebody there, I'm not sure. Come back with the call sign again.
KC9VKV, KR4HH.
KR4HH. Go ahead.
Yeah, hey Jim, Dr. VKV, I know you're closing up shop, but just wondered if I could get a quick check. I've got a new radio here, if you could give me a quick analysis.
Yes, sir. Tell me 10 seconds about your antenna system.
Okay, Jim, I've got a 40-meter dipole, inverted V up about 40-45 feet, and that's really it. Quite simple, over.
Roger. The dynamic range looks pretty good, but just to double check, you are running your compressor at a 3. Is that a Roger?
I am, Jim, and this radio has an in and out, so I guess a release and a attack and a release on that compressor.
Roger. Well, do you have a normal setting, or?
Well, it goes from 0 to 100, and I've got, let me see, I've got 30, for in, and on the output I've got it at 55.
Sounds good. So then you go to your ALC, and speaking naturally into your microphone, adjust your ALC by way of mic gain control to mid-scale to 2/3.
Yeah, that's about what I'm seeing. What do you have for the dynamic range?
It looks to be 3 dB, but it does punch through from time to time. That's why I was curious. What radio is that?
It's a Kenwood 890.
Oh, Roger. What age is that?
Well, the radio came out about 2 years ago, but I've had this radio only about 2 weeks.
I see. Well, again, I would double-check my ALC and just speaking naturally into your microphone, adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, Roger?
Yeah. Well, I went back and forth, and then I adjusted the compression, and based on my meter, compression is running about maybe 5 as much as 7 dB on peaks. And then I went back and tweaked the mic gain, kind of back and forth between that, and the compressor. I tried to get what I thought sounded like a good balance.
Yeah, Roger. The whole thing about, what we're trying to do is wind up with a 3 dB dynamic range. And, that's why the limited amount of compression at a 3, it's a token amount, something that you will never hear that compressor operating. The thing is, what we want to do is set up our equipment intelligently. And so if a compressor is set up intelligently, you'll never hear it working. It just does its thing, and you can't hear it. The same way with when you move up to the ALC, when you adjust that ALC from mid-scale to 2/3, that you're listening to the output of the limiter. That's what your ALC meter is showing. So you're just pushing that limiter just a little bit. You don't want to ever push a limiter too hard, because the difference between a compressor and a limiter is the attack times. Compressor is a very slow attack and release time, so you can compress 20 dB and not have much distortion. A limiter is a instantaneous attack and almost instantaneous release, and you can't force that too much more than maybe 3-4 dB before it starts having problems. So again, if you adjust your mic gain to where your ALC is running mid-scale to 2/3, after you do those two things, your dynamic range should be 3 dB. Roger?
Okay, gotcha, Jim. Yeah, well, the ALC is going a tad higher on peaks, but I think this is about where it needs to be, and I know you've got the golden ears. Just wanted to run it by you.
Yes, sir. Now, you might want to consider also a windscreen for that mic.
Okay, I got one. It's on it now, Jim, and has it cut the highs any?
No, sir. No, sir. Good foam windscreen does not interfere with the frequency response at all. It only disbands the wind velocities. It disseminates the wind velocities to keep those mouth noises and plosives out of your speech. Roger?
Now, can you tell the difference?
I just switched SDRs. Give me that again, please, sir.
Okay, KC9VKV, KR4HH. Yeah, Jim, I just put the windscreen on the mic. I didn't know if it was noticeable at this point or not.
Sounds beautiful. I would just keep it there. I just, like I say, went to the SDR because you had faded down a little bit on my local antenna. Let me go back to my local antenna and give me 10 seconds about what you like best about your radio.
What could fade as well, I guess, from QS Baker. Well, I've had the radio, like I say, a couple of weeks, but I do like the fact that I can adjust the transmit bandwidth a little bit wider when conditions permit. That's really neat. And I like the fact that it's, pretty much a manual radio. It's got a lot of knobs on it. I like just to control the radio that way. I don't really, at this point, want to operate a amateur radio with a computer. Over.
Roger that. Looks good. That looks real good. Roger.
Okay, good enough. Well, you're probably already a pumpkin, but don't do it in October or you might become a jack-o'-lantern pretty quick. Over.
Yeah. Be running through the woods. No, I'm a pumpkin. I don't want to be a jack-o'-lantern. All right, and let's see here. What's your location, sir?
Yeah, Jim, I'm right outside of Columbia, South Carolina. I'm in West Columbia, 15 miles west of downtown Columbia. Over.
All right, and what's the name again, please?
Dave, Delta Alpha Victor Echo.
And the radio?
The radio is a Kenwood TS890.
Great. All righty. Well, you know the drill about getting to YouTube and all that stuff.
Yeah, I've been on your show before. Yep.
Great. All right, let me get out of here. Threes to you, Dave, and thanks for dropping by. If you get a chance, join us next Friday. Roger?
Thank you, Jim. Thanks for taking me in. Have a great weekend. KC9VKV, KR4HH73.
Roger, Dave 3 is that way, sir. And again, this is KC9VKV, and we will be returning this frequency to normal amateur radio use. KC9VKV is clear.